This conference will now be recorded.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order of the MPO Policy Board for this June 13th, 2024 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The first item on the agenda, of course, is the roll call, and we'll start with that. Aaron Easter.
Present.
I have down as tentative Kevin Underwood or Jody Hamilton. Are either one of them there? Okay, thank you. Gary Schroeder.
Present.
Larry Leverance.
Present.
Steve Murray.
Here.
Julie Ginn.
Present.
Deb Calder.
Present.
Thank you, everyone. We have a quorum present. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. You have all had those communicated to you, and I hope you've had a chance to review those. And I would entertain a motion on the approval of the minutes.
So moved.
Oh,
This is
second.
Steve Snyder, by the way.
Oh, okay. We have a
And Cindy
motion
Murray
by Steve
second.
Snyder and Cindy Murray second. Sorry, Steve, it didn't say you were coming here on my sheet.
No
Okay,
problem.
we have a
Glad to be
motion
here.
and thank you. We have a motion and a second. Are there any further discussions or changes? Hearing none, I'll conduct a roll call vote. Aaron Easter,
Aye.
Gary Schroeder,
Aye.
Steve Snyder,
Aye.
Larry Leverance,
Aye.
Cindy Murray,
Aye.
Julie Ginn,
Aye.
Deb Calder.
Aye.
Minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is Resolution T24-09, resolution to amend the 2024-2028 Transportation Improvement Program, and that will be handled by Doug.
Good afternoon, everyone. The mayor mentioned we have a resolution to amend the TIP in front of us. This was requested by the NDOT Crawfordsville District Office, and specifically it addresses a number of projects. The first part is updating 8 projects that are already programmed in the TIP and adding 2 new additional ones. Regarding the 8 projects, one is on State Road 25, one is on State Road 38, 4 are on US 52, one on I-65, and one is a various location project. Basically, the reason why we are changing these is, one is that they are combining construction funding from 2 years down to 1. One, they're moving the actual construction date from 1 year to the next. And the others are actually increasing the funds and the amounts that are already shown. 4 of those are specifically for the construction phase, and 1 is for the preliminary engineering and right-of-way phase. Regarding the 2 new projects, basically they are a various locations project that are throughout the district, and they are pavement markings refurbished. One project is in fiscal year 2025, which actually begins here July 1st coming up, and the other one is in fiscal year 2026. The Technical Transportation Committee reviewed this amendment request at their meeting in May or last month and recommended approval. And APC staff also recommends approval of this amendment through Resolution T2409. Are there any questions or comments that I can answer?
All right, thank you, Doug. Not seeing or hearing any questions. We will conduct a Roll call vote on this resolution. Aaron Easter,
Aye.
Gary Schroeder,
Aye.
Steve Snyder,
Aye.
Larry Leverance,
Aye.
Cindy Murray,
Aye.
Julie Ginn,
Aye.
Deb Calder. The resolution is approved. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have Resolution T 24-10, a resolution to amend the 2024-2028 Transportation Improvement Program. And Doug, you're still up.
And for our second tip amendment for today, this is actually some good news in that several months back, NDOT Central Office specifically gave us our final fiscal year 2024 federal funding amount. And lo and behold, we received an additional $64,373 in federal funds. It's not much, but it is a pinch more. And in the staff report, as you see on the screen, it's broken down by the different funding types. So at the April Technical Transportation Committee meeting, we had a very good discussion as to where these funds would be a good use for. And the decision by the committee was to allocate part of it, $55,580, to the South 9th Street project, specifically to the right-of-way phase. And the remaining portion, $8,793, to a preventable maintenance project for City Bus. At that time, the Technical Transportation Committee did recommend approval of this tip amendment. The City Bus Board of Directors did review this at their May meeting and recommended approval. And likewise, APC staff is asking or recommending your approval of this amendment through Resolution T 24-10. Are there any comments or questions regarding this?
All right, Doug.
Sorry,
Any
Mr. Mayor.
questions? Go ahead.
Brian Smith from City Bus. We did get notice today, Doug, unfortunately, not even an hour ago from the FTA, that they won't be able to obligate this money until after October.
Mhm.
Is that, I'm very grateful for the money. We absolutely need it and can absolutely spend it.
Mhm.
But we will not be able to get it obligated before the system opens back up in October for us. Is that, I don't, at the same notion, basically, I just learned of this and I don't want to cause a problem with the NDOT funding.
Mhm.
We need to talk about this offline. That's fine. I just didn't want this to go through without me making sure the board was aware of all of that. And I apologize for the late notice. We just found out from FTA, like I said, about 45 minutes ago.
Well, the first thing we can do is either tomorrow or Monday reach out to either NDOT or not Federal Highway, I'm sorry, FTA, and find out that when we do flex these funds over, there is a window in which we can program, at least my understanding, program, and then actually obligate these funds. And even though we may not be able to obligate these funds, I think that should be okay. And the reason why is this reminds me of the bus stop project, in which we actually flexed the funds over, but the bus stop project actually didn't start construction at a later date outside of that federal fiscal year window. So my recommendation is that we follow up with them here in the next day or two. And then if it's okay, we actually then go ahead and proceed and process this. And another reason why is that the end of the month is the end date in which we can flex these federal funds over to FTA. So we're already set here prepared the actual draft. We drafted the letter, and it's ready to go, so that if we can still do that, we can go ahead and proceed. But then if we cannot, then we can then also come back and then reallocate these funds in the next month or two. So kind of like a plan B.
Okay, I agree. I just got that information, and I didn't want this vote to happen. And I concur. We do typically have 3 years to obligate and 5 years to execute. So we should have plenty of time. I wanted to be transparent about something we had just learned. So thank you all. Apologize for taking up the time.
All right. Thank you, Brian, for that information, and Doug for your explanation. I think we're fine to go ahead with the vote, and then you guys can kind of work through it, and we'll see where we end up. Is there any other questions or discussions on this resolution? Hearing none, I'll conduct a roll call vote. Aaron Easter,
Aye.
Gary Schroeder,
Aye.
Steve Snyder,
Aye.
Larry Leverance,
Aye.
Cindy Murray,
Aye.
Julie Ginn,
Aye.
and Deb Calder.
Aye.
The resolution is approved. Thank you, everyone. The next item on the agenda is the administrative modification for the 2024-2028 Transportation Improvement Program. Doug?
Unlike the TIP amendment process, where we actually go through and have the Technical Transportation Committee and the Policy Board review and recommend approval, we also can update the TIP for minor changes, and we are allowed to do that through a simple letter. As part of the process, when we do that at the following Policy Board meeting, we present that information, and that is what we're doing at this time. We were notified here at APC that the construction cost for the county bridge number 527 increased, and NDOT now is paying close attention to the estimated construction cost that we have in the TIP versus what the actual engineer's cost is, and they are trying to make sure that those two numbers are very close. So they have asked us to do this modification, and basically, since there are no additional federal funds available for this at this time, we are showing an increase in the local funds. So the total cost estimate for construction matches the engineer's estimated construction cost. So it's just a simple number change. And basically that summarizes the modification. Are there any questions and comments regarding that?
All right, I don't hear any. Thank you, Doug, for the explanation there. And then the letter from Ryan there is in front of us also. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So thank you. We will now move on to the APC progress report. The first category is MPO update. And under that, we have the quarterly project progress, and Tim will be handling that.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I would actually like to call a slight audible and add in something that we just learned about earlier this week before we go ahead and do the quarterly projects summary report. And what that is, is that NDOT has what we've been referring to as some August redistribution funds, basically because NDOT spent down their allocation, not all the other states did. NDOT got some money back, and as part of that, they are redistributing some of that to MPO areas specifically for safety projects. So we have kind of just learned some of the specific details about that, and so I'm putting Doug a little bit on the spot here because he's the one that's looked into it the most directly, but the short of it is that there is 50 million available that we can apply for qualifying project types for. And so, Doug, did you want to add anything to that?
Sure. The application window is from September to October. I don't have the specific dates in front of me, but NDOT is wanting a quick turnaround with these projects, specifically 2 years. And they are looking for projects, what they call programmatic projects, which are very simple and straightforward. For example, replacing street signs so that they meet the reflectivity standards, the new the size standards, and we sent that information out to all of the jurisdictions yesterday. In addition to that, there is an application that needs to be filled out, plus a programmatic request, and this is an NDOT updated. And it's fairly simple and straightforward. We have filled those out for all of the local jurisdictions in the past, and we'd be more than glad to assist with those requests. We've already heard back from a couple cities and towns asking for our help, and we would be more than glad to help put these projects together and try to get as much of that $50 million as we can. Any questions or comments regarding that?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I wanted to just make sure that we were mentioning that because, like Doug said, it's a pretty quick turnaround. So we wanted just to make sure that we're on top of it and that everyone knows what we're doing. You know, obviously, any money we can get into the community is a win for us. So we're definitely going to try to get as much as we can, like Doug said. I think you're muted there, Mayor, if you were trying to say something.
Yeah, my fault. Deb, did you have anything you wanted to add from the state?
No, thanks for covering that for us, guys. I appreciate it. So looking forward to see what everybody submits and what they get awarded.
All right, thank you. Sorry about that being on mute there. Next item, well, Tim, you're going to go to the quarterly project progress now, right?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So this is, again, as usual, a summary of what we talked about at last month's technical committee meeting. So for some of the Tippecanoe County projects, so the North 9th Street Road Bridge is on track for November 2025 letting. River Road at 500 North, we are almost at the finish line. We just need to get 1 or 2 more small administrative things sorted out, so we will not be receiving reports for that project pretty soon. So hopefully that'll get closed out and totally off the books. For the Morehouse Road projects, utilities did delay the start of construction. It is now under construction. So that is good news. I think that's progressing. Maybe not good news for anyone who wants to use that section of Morehouse that's closed, but good news overall. The Jaeger Road project also pretty close to being closed out. McCutcheon Pedestrian Safety Project functionally complete. So again, another one that's pretty close to being closed out. So a lot of these projects are really pretty close to the finish line, which is, I think, pretty good news that we're getting a lot of these checked off. So for Lafayette, moving on to them, they did obtain the environmental approval for the South 9th Street project, which, of course, as you guys remember, there was a little bit of a delay in that, and a FEMA request for right-of-way services has been submitted. So that one's moving along as well. We also got a couple of new reports, one for the South 9th Street and Cassuth project, and another for the Emergency Vehicle Preemption project, which is actually a joint project between multiple jurisdictions, but Lafayette, I guess, has the lead reporting responsibility on that. So there's not too much to report on those because they're new reports, but those are some things we will be tracking as part of our process going forward. So for West Lafayette, the Sagamore Parkway Trail project will continue to get quarterly reports as they are trying to finalize some of the drainage and erosion issues and some of those just things that have delayed the project a little bit. And for the Soldiers Home Road Phase 1 project, there is a challenge with some potential historic register eligible properties in the project area that West Lafayette has been working to see what they can do about that, to see how that will impact scheduling and funding. So there have been some ongoing conversations between our office, the consultants, and West Lafayette about how to approach that and try to make sure that we don't ultimately end up losing any federal funds due to potential delays. So something we're working through on that. I know I didn't necessarily cover every project, but are there any questions about what I covered or maybe something that I skipped?
All right, seeing none, thank you, Tim, for that. And we have the US Bike Route 37, and that's Doug. And Doug, you're finishing out this section, it looks like. So please feel free just to move from one category to the next, please.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. The first item regarding US Bike Route 30, or yes, US Bicycle Route 37 feels like it's a continuing saga or soap opera in that we are still trying to get this project over the finish line. We have reached out email-wise to Brandon, the NDOT Bicycle Pedestrian Coordinator, and asked about the status and getting the application submitted. And he did not respond to that. So we officially sent him a letter urging him at the earliest opportunity to submit it. We also learned that Debbie, thank you for reaching out and contacting him and doing the same. We are also planning on reaching out to other organizations. We have already reached out to Bicycle Indiana and are asking them to urge NDOT to submit the application. We are planning to ask the other two MPOs that the bicycle route is in. One is Northwest Indiana and the other is in Indianapolis. And then seek out other organizations so that the application is sent now rather than wait till later. Going on to the next item. This is, I believe, the air quality information. Since the greater Lafayette area is an attainment area, it's been quite some time since we've looked at any air quality data. But as you remember, last year we did have quite a number of days where we were enjoying the Canadian fire smoke, and we thought we would like to share some of this data with you. Specifically looking at the top of the table, this gives you the air quality data with a few of the, or actually 87 days in 2024, all the way back to 2010, and 2023 highlighted of the 349 days that were sampled. 293 were actually had good air quality. 50 were moderate, and then unfortunately, if you look, there were 4 that had unhealthy for sensitive groups, and actually 2 were unhealthy. So we did see a impact result from that, those Canadian fires. What we also thought would be of interest would be a comparison to our area, to all of those around the state, and overall, still, our numbers looked fairly good, even though they were bad, especially if you look at Indianapolis or Marion County. They had 17 days for unhealthy for sensitive groups, 3 for that were just unhealthy, and 1 very unhealthy. And then there were also 3 areas in addition to that that had 1 day that was very unhealthy. So we thought this would be of interest to this committee. So we've decided that we are going to start keeping more tabs on our air quality data. Specifically, we had a minor event not too long ago with the Canadian fires. And if we see that again, we will keep track of that. So any comments or questions regarding the data? Going on to the next item, this is a status report of our federal funds. The good news is that the funds that we were allocated when we developed the TIP for 2024, all of those funds have been officially obligated. And as you can see in the tables, both on the top and on the bottom, there's a lot of zeros. We obligated those funds. Now we are working specifically on these additional funds. They have been allocated to the 3 projects, and we are still in the process of getting those first in the STIP and then actually obligating those. So good news. The next item or last item I have is the 18-month letting list. And if you look at the information, not much to report. The next letting coming up is actually in October. And if you look down the left-hand side, you will see a lot of S's. That means the projects that are listed are progressing and are anticipated to be let on those days. We did have one change, and it's the last project, number 14. And it has been bumped 2 months from a August 2026 letting to an October 2026 letting. Any questions or comments regarding that?
All right. Well, thank you, Doug, for all those presentations. I'll give one last opportunity here if anybody has any questions. All right, hearing none, we'll move on to other business. I don't see anything listed. Does any member of the committee have anything under other business?
Well, I think most of you do probably already know this, but I would like Ryan O'Gara to have the chance to give a personnel update. So Ryan, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you real quick.
Great, thank you. Yeah, I'm delighted to kind of inform everyone that I have been selected and have accepted for the position of Executive Director of the Area Plan Commission. So pleased as punch to continue serving this community, and really delighted to step into this new role, and really look forward to continuing the good work we've been doing now for many years together. So be looking forward to working with you in this new capacity.
Great. Well, thank you, Ryan. We're glad to have you on board in this new position. And several of us were on the committee, and we're looking forward to great things from you. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anything else under other business? All right. I'd entertain. I guess we got to do citizen comments here.
Yep, I am timing it. We'll give them 1 minute for the stream to catch up.
Thank you.
Okay, it's been 1 minute and there's been no public comment on Facebook or YouTube at this time.
Great. Thank you very much. All right. No, hearing nothing else, I'd entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
I have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I will conduct a roll call vote. Aaron Easter,
Aye.
Gary Schroeder,
Aye.
Steve Snyder,
Aye.
Larry Leverance,
Aye.
Cindy Murray,
Aye.
Julie Ginn,
Aye.
and Deb Calder.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. We're adjourned. Enjoy the rest of your day.
This conference is no longer being recorded.